Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Men Can and Should PTA 2. My name is Mike Keene, and it is my pleasure to present to you here at the Summer Leadership Conference. Obviously in a little bit of a different format, but lots of great information. We're going to look at a few different things. First and foremost, we want to highlight the benefits of a male presence in a child's educational journey. What are the barriers? And really, we're going to highlight 5 barriers that cause men not to be able to be present. And we'll discuss strategies, and also there's some resources to help you have men present in your PTA. So the benefits of male presence. So we've got some different bullet points here. We all recognize PTA is a vital part of the school community. This past year and a half, I've seen PTAs be a great resource for their communities. Great carrier of information to families. Historically, PTAs are the ones that are bringing communities together, whether it be in the form of a welcome back picnic, a variety show, those different events, the dances and, different events to bring your community together. Often one thing that lacks, though, in those PTA communities is a significant male presence. My journey to be here wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been recruited by a gentleman named Graham. Graham knew that I was working part-time, selling apparel, and at that time in our elementary school, there was a need for an apparel salesperson. So lo and behold, I was recruited. I took advantage of that, or he took advantage of that, and brought me in to help with that. And then I got attending meetings and utilized some of my other skills. By trade, I'm an HR professional. And at that point, the PTA, Roselville, is where I was in need of a new board for the next year. So they needed someone to lead up the recruitment efforts. And, the group that I had, the nominating committee, we've done well in filling all positions but one. The one position that we were struggling with was president, and lo and behold, 6 months after attending my first PTA meeting, I was PTA president. And that journey's been successful. Had many fantastic memories and ways to bring the community together when I was in the elementary school, transitioned that into the middle school. And now both kids are in high school, and I'm certainly involved there. But 10 years ago, I had thought my wife would be the one attending PTA meetings, and I'd be sitting here in my living room, hanging out with my kids, watching Disney or Nickelodeon, helping with homework, things like that. So, but those early years in the elementary school, I was really able to see the benefit of men like myself being around in the school community. There's numbers that will tell you how performance is significantly increased when a child has a father or father-like figure in their life during their school journey. So, as you look at our bullet points, talks about improved student performance. 50% greater is the feedback that we've gotten. Role modeling, teaching young men how to grow up to be positive, solid men in life, helping with making choices, not just going for the easy choice, but making the right choice, understanding the impact of their decisions, which talks about, which moves into the improvement in their problem solving abilities, being able to break down things and look from a different mindset. The male presence also provides support from a financial standpoint. Where possible, that two-income family is certainly pivotal to create opportunities for our children, but also to support the community. And lastly, providing that emotional support. We all know, we have our own journeys and various things that we carry. So that male presence gives students a different perspective at how to look and travel down a particular path. What happens when men PTA? Attendance increases, engagement is there. Kids are more involved in activities. It's certainly easier when schedules are difficult, when you have that additional figure in a child's life. You've got someone that can attend the variety show while perhaps mom has to work, or grandma has an appointment. Better student outcomes. Again, we talked about the significant results of having that involvement, and then cognitive development improves. So then we come to, we've identified what works. So now we got to look at, not what works, but looking at what has been beneficial, what are those positives, and then we transition now to look at what has caused, what are the barriers for men to be present. First and foremost, family status. It's well known, families are changing in a pace that is greater than the 30-40% when I was a child, and and that's just that's the world we currently live in. There are various factors that impact that, whether it be divorce, death. Sometimes, one of those. Sometimes the male figure is located in another area because of work commitments. So next, institutional disconnection. So how is the school environment, the PTA, the school building, school administration, utilizing men to feel that they are welcome, that they have the understanding, are things being communicated through email? Do they have the contact information for that parent? is there a, you know, unfortunately, is there a lack of the mother not providing the information to the father? The third barrier, lack of understanding of what is needed. What do I need to be PTA? What is the benefit? So we need to look at marketing. We need to look at you know, breaking that down, communicating, making sure that there are opportunities for men to be able to understand what the expectations are from the PTA, from the school, what is needed to create that successful pathway. Availability, touched on it earlier, is, you know, does someone's work get in the way? Are there, you know, unfortunately, sometimes we have fathers are incarcerated, and that creates a obvious barrier. But, you know, are we providing the opportunity for another male figure in the life of a child to be present, to be a support to the mother? Grandparents serve a tremendous support in that capacity. So, and then feeling accepted. And I think this can be a great barrier. And, you know, it's, we all crave acceptance in life. We want to know that we're somewhere that we're needed and valued. And sometimes, you know, because those numbers at a PTA meeting are, you know, disproportionate, you know, 29 moms and there's Mike. Because again, you know, is it accepted between those in attendance? Is it accepted amongst other men? You know, to me, and I don't think there's any shame because there's a great importance to supporting your community, and you know, so making folks feel accepted at your institution, at your school, at your meeting, maybe you're doing a carnival. You know, we can definitely find ways to make sure folks know that they are welcome to join us. So let's look at strategy, or I guess we should say strategy, to get men into your PTA. First and foremost, did you ask? It is the most simplest thing we can do is ask someone to join their PTA. And so often it's one of those things that we tend to fall behind with. We're just, you know, we think, oh, they're not going to be interested. And you know what? Perhaps someone's not. It's okay to hear no. We go through life hearing no for particular things. So it is not something to be afraid of. Make them feel welcome. So we talked about it as a barrier. How do we make someone feel welcome? Do you have a dad serve as part of your membership team? Do you have a male figure? Maybe you have one of your male teachers come and help organize an event that can bring some dads together, or do an orientation for dads. And that kind of talks about the next, you know, what events are out there that can bring men together. One of the things we'll touch on in the resources is Watchdogs, is a national program, Dads of Great Students, and really emphasizes an opportunity to bring dads into your school environment. Here's that question again. Did you ask? It's really something that you need to be able to make the ask, have someone, have your membership chair set a target and ask particular people. Align skills to the needs of the PTA. So we go back to my story about Graham reaching out to me because I was selling apparel on a part-time basis. But then also where utilizing my HR skills. So perhaps you have an event and you've got a dad that does sales. So maybe he can help align some fundraising ideas for you, or can join your fundraising committee and offer another perspective. Is there a dad that's a tradesman? One of my favorite events that I coordinated for 6 years or so in the elementary school was our variety show. And, we would bring together a variety of folks to help build some of the props that we needed for the event. And I am not handy, so, I utilize my skills to organize and pull kids together. Next piece, educating men on their value. So again, marketing and communicating, talking about how their presence can impact that child, and help them, have a successful 12 years and form their path into the future, career, college, service, whatever is beneficial to them. So communicate effectively. And here I use one of the things, avoid being mom-centered. So one of those pieces that always was tough for me was hearing about the mom squad, or, oh, I've got my PTA moms. But really, when you're looking at the benefit to a child, doesn't have to be, it's, I've got my PTA besties. I've got my, PTA squad. Doesn't necessarily need to be male focused, female focused, and such. Lastly, again, did you ask? If they don't know, they likely won't join. Some resources for engaging male figures. I pulled together 5. The first and the last are from the same source, but there's the Responsible Fatherhood Toolkit. Lots of materials in there to generate some ideas and help educate. Watchdogs, I talked about that earlier. Watchdogs is a national program, stands for Dads of Great Students, and they've created they've got some different ideas, whether it be, dads and donuts. And, we use that dad term a lot, but you'll notice, like, even at the top of this slide, I talked about male figures. And in the past, I've tried to look at different ways to recreate the term dads, dudes, just those male figures that can be the presence in someone's life. The next resource is All Pro Dad. So many of you may know Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy. And his life has had some interesting twists and turns, but he's created this organization to support fathers and giving them guidance. Next one is the National Compadres Network. So this is going to be more focused on our Hispanic and Latinx communities, but creating another train of thought, because we all come from different backgrounds. So there's solid resources there based upon your needs. And then the National Fatherhood Initiative, we hear, you likely hear these commercials if you listen to ESPN radio like I do. About once a week I hear the fatherhood.org commercial. So looking at ideas from what they provide. So, and that is the end of my presentation, and I may have gone a little too fast, but to help get to see that you've paid attention, I've got a little contest. So it's called Two Truths and a Lie. You've got my email there, mail.engagement@nyspta.org. Below there are 3 statements. 2 of them are truths, 1 of them is a lie. And in a week, I am going to draw a name out of the entries that I receive, and I'm going to send you off a Dunkin' gift card. So you need to tell me which one of these 3 is the lie. So is it true that I've made cookies for New York Yankee legend Bernie Williams, that I've scooped ice cream for Eddie Murphy, or that I had lunch with the band, the Bare Naked Ladies? I am looking for any questions. I think in this format, I'll be available at the end of the video. We'll be live, but certainly my email is there. So I appreciate everyone's time. I look forward to being a resource to all of you, and look forward to hearing about some fantastic stories of how you have generated high numbers of male engagement in your PTA community. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. And